Hello everyone, this is Ethan from the Orlando Tourist, and today is September the 14th and it's a Tuesday, and we are actually going to our first media event, and it's at the Oviedo Mall, and it's for Scream and Stream, and the first night will be this Friday, September 17th, and we got invited to check it out. I'm going to be meeting a few friends, and we were told to enter in the District Eat and Play, but they have the event set up around the other end of the mall, so we will check that out. We have the check-in table right over here. This is some of the merchandise that's available. We have the t-shirts for $26, and it shows Scream and Stream on the front, and on the back it's the prices per car, not per person. And then we have the challenge coin for $9. The face masks are $6.66. The air fresheners that smell like fog are $8. And we have the bumper sticker for $2. So we just checked in a little early. It's now 6:30. And we have Patrick over here, who's the main creative head this year.
I was so happy.
We have some food over here. That's a reception for us tonight. We have pretzel bites. We have Hawaiian beef sliders, chicken quesadillas, coconut shrimp, Station 5 fries, some other Station 5 fries that are gone now, and we also have the assorted pizzas as well. Actors walking around.
Yes. All right, so Scream and Stream, this is its second year. Last year we had a lot of success down in Kissimmee, and just how much success during the pandemic can one organization have? Well, last year there were 4,200 cars, 16 sold out nights. They employed 75 independent contractors during the course of the run during the pandemic when shows and jobs were getting slashed and cut, and they were able to donate almost $4,500 to Second Harvest. It's a huge deal that we're back this year, and we are so excited for you to come and experience it. Now, it started about June 24th, 2020, that's what I'm told. That's when the planning stages started for the event last year. And so 2021 really has its birthday on that day. Now, I didn't come around until December. And when we started talking about what was possible, I met with the people in charge, and the very first thing I asked them was, so do you guys have an idea about what you might want to do for the event? And I heard the three most beautiful words ever: clowns versus zombies. Immediately I was hooked. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, that's what we're going to go do. And then I started asking them questions because I didn't know what the timeline was going to be. I didn't know if the location was going to stay the same. And so I asked them about the possibility of whether or not they were going to remain a drive-through haunted attraction or if they were going to go traditional in a haunted house. And the answer was a resounding no. We're going to stay drive-through no matter what happens because that's unique. Scream and Stream is by itself one of the most unique attractions anywhere. And I'll talk a little bit more about the upgrades and the things that we've done to make sure and solidify that moving into 21. But some of the things that they realized during the course of the run in 2020 was that the groups that came weren't your typical hardcore horror fans. You had a lot of those, by the way. You had a lot of people seeking out the scare and wanting to make sure that their Halloween was fulfilled with all the cancellations of all the other shows. But they also saw groups of kids. It's a great gateway drug for children to get into the horror genre. We're really excited for that. And also, because those children were inside the car, they could experience horror in a safe little bubble. The second group for the people that maybe mobility is an option, is an issue, where they have a hard time standing in line for hours on end, or they have a hard time getting around. Well, they can do that from the ease of their vehicle and still experience something that is absolutely wonderful and a huge spectacle. And then the third group were multi-generational families. Having the opportunity for little Jimmy, who's 5, and Grandma Ethel, who's 95, to get into a car and experience a scare is so much fun. It's such a wonderful opportunity for people. Now, when you have those three groups, as well as the horror fanatics that are coming out to the event, you want to make sure that you're doing your absolute best to give them what they want. And the team at Scream and Stream, we've worked for the last 10 months to really upgrade and update their experience. So when you were over at the old drive-thru with the Colt last year in the swamp, you had that wonderful B-movie, grungy 1970s feel to it, and we knew that the story that we were going to tell dictated that the tech had to become something more. Not only inside the haunt, but also the guest experience. And so this year, Scream and Stream is employing a virtual queue for all of our patrons. You'll be able to sign up for a time and come back during your time and during your block, which frees you and your friends up to be able to come into the district and play, to be able to experience everything that we've got here, whether it's Oviedo Brewing or Calliope's, but then also make a night of coming to Scream and Stream. The second thing is weather delays. If you have a weather delay, you'll be able to go do something else and come back during the time, and we'll text you. It's wonderful that it's automated. It increases the guests' ability to enjoy themselves during the experience. But it's not just the queue and weather delays that make up the haunt. The other things that we wanted to do is we wanted to increase the technological abilities of the guests themselves as well as the haunt. So we made sure that all the lighting and audio had different rigging positions, which helped us hide actors better, increasing the scares. We increased the tech that's involved inside the haunt itself and the special effects that you're going to see tonight, which means increased use of foggers. There's sparks, there's a lot of different things, bells and whistles that we've got for you. Tech-wise, as far as your experience tonight, we've also equipped all of the passengers in the vehicle with laser guns. Yeah, we're going to shoot some zombies and some clowns. I didn't hear you in the back. I'm excited about that. And really, for me as a horror fan, there's nothing finer than getting into a car and have a claustrophobic experience with zombies and clowns showing up that you get to shoot. But it's not just enough to play laser tag when you're sitting in a car. We also have a job for you when you enter into the experience. We're giving you something called an EMU. It's a tech package that you've got to transport from the beginning of Station 5 and get it to the end of Station 5. Because if you don't, all of the zombies and all of the clowns will break out and wreak havoc across the globe. We wanted to make sure that there was a story element where you were a part of the story. The story can't happen without your participation going through and experiencing everything that we've got for you. It's not a haunted house. It's a haunted adventure. You're traveling through a dark ride that you're controlling. And I can think of no finer time and no finer place to have it than out there. The team has been working and killing themselves for weeks on end to put up everything and get it ready for your experience tonight. Now, I'm going to take a few questions in a minute, but I wanted to do some housekeeping first. Here's the boring stuff. In about an hour, you'll be going out there and you'll be enjoying yourselves. Hey! You're going to get a text message with the phone number that you registered to get in tonight. And then once you get that text message, grab your group, head to your car, and get in line for the attraction. You do not have to come back here. Also, and I know this is going to bum out the drivers, you don't get to film, you don't get to hold the camera, you don't get to text, you don't get to take phone calls from Grandma Ethel, and unfortunately, you also do not get to shoot anybody. But what you do get to do is you get to keep you and your party safe and let everyone else have an enjoyable evening. Yeah. There's like 6 drivers in this room that are like, oh, that's great, I'm Good Samaritan. Also, I know that there are a lot of people here from social media. I know that everybody wants to take pictures. That's wonderful. Please take video, take pictures. But do us a favor. Don't live stream this. Don't throw this on in its entirety and ruin the surprise for everybody that's going to pay a ticket and come in and experience what we have in store for them. I don't want to ruin everything for everybody. By all means, show your favorite moments or show things that look really cool. But please, don't live stream and don't show it in its entirety. And then also, the final thing is have a good time. Enjoy yourself out there. The reason that this was built from the team at Scream and Stream and the story that I created is so that you have fun during this holiday. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is never a question of this or that. It's about this and that. It is about experiencing the event called Halloween to its finest and giving people an opportunity to go escape for a little while. Okay, now, I'm available to take a couple questions before I bust out of here and get the tech rehearsal going. So if anybody has any questions, raise your hand and we'll run out and I'll throw the mic in your face. Hold on, I got a question. Hold on. I'm gonna run through. Here we go. Okay, what's your question?
How much is the price?
How much is the price? Well, it doesn't really matter what the price is. All you have to do is remember that the price is per car. It's not per patron, it's not per guest, it's per car. What's the question? I have another question. Okay. I'm going to get my steps in. This is awesome.
How long is the experience?
It's a good question. So, in a typical haunt experience, you kind of count it by rooms or you count it by scenes. What we like to say at Scream and Stream is that you're going to be experiencing 21 micro shows. Every single scene is a show unto itself, and each scene is roughly about a minute in length. From the time that you get to the front of the line to the time that you get done, it's roughly a 22 to 27 minute experience, depending on what it is. It's a good, long, lengthy show, and it's a lot of fun to have multiple people in your car. So please, bring a lot of people with you when you come back. Anybody else? Okay, another one.
How many actors are in it?
How many actors are in it? So, normally, I would say, oh, that's something that we want to keep confidential. But I'm not going to. There's roughly 50 people in the haunt. It's experience that's going to be hitting people on both left and right as you drive through. Last night, I was telling myself, we were doing a final inspection, and as we're doing that, we're parked. Chris is driving, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I've got my laser gun, and I've been shooting people all night long and giving direction. And then we stopped in one scene, and we were so focused on the left-hand side that we were looking at it. We're like, okay, that zombie needs to do this, and that person needs to do this. And I turn around, and there was a clown right here. And I was literally like, ah! And I had to shoot him just to get him away. And it was so much fun because that actor he was hilarious. He was just peering into my window because he was like, hey, what are you guys doing? And I ended up shooting him and scaring him, I think. Yeah.
When do you start planning the event?
When do we start planning the event? So this particular iteration has been in function for about 10 months. That was the first conversation that we had to start building narrative was in December of last year. And so it's taken a good long time to be able to get all the tech and all the pieces and parts together so that we can have the experience tonight. Oh, one in the back, coming.
One of the first things you said is you hope this is like an introduction for like kids. What's the suggested age?
Okay, so this is a good question. What is the suggested age? It depends on you as a parent. I said this before in the spring when we did a little bit of a mock-up, that my 9-year-old son will hate this event, but that my 7-year-old daughter is going to love it. And that's the truth. It really depends on the kid's temperament, as well as what you think they're going to be able to handle. I think it is going to be a fun, all-ages event, but there are scary moments. So if you've got a child who's particularly sensitive to those kinds of things, don't bring them. Oh, one more. Last question.
How is this? Do the guns keep score?
And your leader point.
Yeah, their guns do not keep score. However, I know for a fact that when you go through with your family, they're going to know who hits the most people. Without a doubt. You're going to have bragging rights for days just because you've been here first. One more.
Question. Clowns or zombies?
Man, it's like picking a house or picking the street zone or picking a show. I am definitively in the clown group. I am pro clown. Clowns! Okay, fine. Who's pro zombie? And who's pro clown? That's what I'm talking about. Yep. All right. Now listen, I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna go get everything ready for the final tech rehearsal. And as I said, in a little while, you'll start getting text messages, and you'll be able to make your way out there with your groups and go experience all that Scream Stream has to offer. Following that, I am going to be around 8:30, 8:45 over at the Oviedo Brewing Company to take interviews. I'll be sitting over there for one-on-ones, so if anybody wants to, they can come over and get a one-on-one with me at that point. We can talk a little bit more about it or answer any questions that you might have had here that I wasn't able to answer. All right? All right. Enjoy yourselves.
So Patrick Burler was just talking about the event. He was giving a nice speech about it. And we're waiting now to get a text message to drive over to the event, and we were the first ones here, so we might be the first cars in the event.
I've never ragged in my life.
So we have now got a text message saying for us to go jump in line for the event, so we're about to head to the car and jump in line now. So we have the cars lined up, and we're in line right here, and that's where the event is, right down there.
This is your access pass. You're going to go to the person at the point of entry. How many recruits do I have in the car, minus the driver?
3.
Perfect. All right, I hope that your aim is better than your math. I'm going to have you guys proceed slowly through the queue. All right, thank you.
Your car is awesome! Hold on, I have to take a picture of that. Hold on,
So they just asked for our driver's registration and driver's license of the person driving, so make sure you have those when you come to the haunt. And we do have the Ecto 1 right over
Take
here.
a picture.
And I am in the passenger seat
Stop moving.
at the moment.
My camera won't fucking.
So it's telling us
flashing lights,
we have 3 guests.
fog or water should not drive through this experience.
Drivers cannot hold a
Thank
gun.
you for your attention
And
to these
also,
important safety announcements.
we have
Remember,
the
you're tuned to
91.9 radio
91.9
station.
FM. Public
And we are
broadcast
tuned to
channel
that right
Station
now.
5 Community Awareness.
Public demonstration of Project Axis. I've been with the project since Station 3 and am proud of the progress we've made in weapons readiness for the safety of our country. Más adelante pasará por algunas una parte que no comprende, no continúe e informe a un miembro.
So right now we are in the final technical rehearsal of Scream and Stream. The event is not officially open yet. So if there's anything that does go wrong, they are still rehearsing, and Friday will be the official opening day.
www.screamandstream.com. That's www, the letter N, stream.com. Or email us at you.
So, how could the military harness the power to represent the ultimate combination of weapons readiness and field safety? These suppression units are
Convenience of your vehicle. Up ahead, you'll be going through some safety orientation briefings. It's important for the driver and all passengers to pay close attention to these safety briefings.
So, follow these instructions for the safety of yourselves and the safety of our assets.
Welcome to Station 5. I'm Dr. Carey. Please pay attention to these important safety instructions.
Stun guns based on the amount of people in your car. You know how to use them up ahead, and whenever you...
So we have to transport this device to the end of the course.
Scanning. Foreign element located. Commencing with disinfectant spray.
Don't worry, our fences will keep you safe. Let's get you to the next lab.
Entry granted to the Laugh Lab. Here at Project Axis, fear is the future. Warning, adrenaline levels overloaded. Asset unstable. Repeat, asset unstable. Warning, weapons. Use stun.
It will
instantly shred the molecular structure of the assets.
Hey! No! Please! Don't do it! No! Oh my god!
Needles! Please be careful. This asset is out of control.
Out of control? I just want to be your friend! Yay! Now we're all besties for life! Love!
Dad! Oh, you hurt me! That's not funny! Back goes the weasel!
Security perimeter breach. Assets in area. Repeat. Assets in area.
Whatever you are, I'm going to eat you. This could take a minute. Now connected to Station 5. We'll have to upload.
We got a bad ending, guys!
A label protocol re-engaged. Commencing operation.
Hopefully our impact to the community is limited to just the surrounding areas, otherwise I might be getting tired. But you all did great.
That was so cool!
So we just finished our drive-through and that was really fun. We got to shoot the zombies and the clowns and it was really fun. There's no point system, but you don't need a point system. There's a really nice storyline to it. And we aren't going to be sharing the full drive-through in this video because, you know, we don't want to spoil it. You're gonna have to come here yourself and go to the event and see it for yourself because, you know, video doesn't do it justice either. So definitely come out here. And now we are going into the Oviedo Brewing Company to interview Patrick Burler. Okay, so we are here with Patrick Burler over here. And he is the creative lead of this event. And he did work for Halloween Horror Nights, and he's also working on Halloween. Or he did recently work on there. And we were there this past weekend. And he's also done the the Horror game, if I'm correct. So he's a big guy over here. And we do have some questions for you. The first thing I'd like to ask is, during the event just now, the drive-through, I did notice that the doctor's name was Carrie. Is that a reference to Carrie, Ohio from Halloween Horror Nights?
No, I didn't even realize. That was just something that I wrote. So, that's awesome. That is awesome in so many different ways. Is it spelled the same?
Yeah, Carrie.
That's a fun Easter egg. I like that. Yeah, sure, it's an Easter egg. Yeah, I planned it. I totally planned it that way.
The next question I have is, are there any other Horror Night Easter eggs that are in the haunt?
No.
No?
No, there are not. For a couple of different reasons. One, I don't like being sued. And two, I think that I think it's wonderful for Scream and Stream and any other haunt to differentiate itself away from one of the big dogs. And Horror Nights, they don't mind. They've been doing it great for 30 years, and they're going to continue to do it for another 30. I think that what's wonderful about Scream and Stream is that it has the opportunity to be its own beast.
It's got a whole different audience as well.
Absolutely.
It has a different feel to it.
I think so too, and it's a different type of event. It's not a standard haunted house. You're not walking through a haunt or a scare zone or going and sitting and seeing a themed show. You are a part of the adventure. You are a part of the experience, and and that's really what it is. It is a drive-through horror adventure.
So, I also wanted to ask, what got you to be in love with haunts in general? Like, what started it?
I always loved, I loved going to haunts as a kid. I loved horror movies as a kid, and really that's where my passion for haunting started, was my love for film. I absolutely adore film. I love watching movies, and horror movies especially. It wasn't until I was a lot older that I realized that when you're working in a theme park and you get to do a Halloween event, you get to break a lot of the rules that normal theme parks get to have to stick behind. And I love the idea that Halloween and horror get to do that. I mean, as a film genre anyway, horror is all about the taboo and breaking down the social norms anyway. but to be able to place that then in a theme park, you're kind of doing double service. You're breaking you're being taboo because it's theater or a horror, but you're also breaking the taboo of a theme park. And so it's kind of having that much, it's so much fun to be able to do.
Yeah.
And the unlimited potential that those locations hold. In the case of Scream and Stream, I love the idea that it is in a parking lot, because it's a wide open area with unlimited amount of potential. You can take the story literally anywhere. And also, with it being the second year, you kind of have an evolution from where the story was last year when it was down in the swamp, and now we're telling a story in a completely different way, where it's cold and it's metal and it's loud and it's industrial, which I think serves the aesthetic of this particular story.
And that leads right into my next question: is what made you choose Scream and Stream? I mean, there's a lot of haunts around here, Haunted Road, I mean, just to name a few. Like, what made you pick Scream and Stream specifically?
I think it was literally Chris saying the words "clowns versus zombies" that sunk it for me. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. When I met with him, he had an entire pitch deck. But the very first slide in his pitch deck was clowns versus zombies, and I went, okay, what's next? Like, the rest of this is you just showing me all the stuff that we're going to do, or is this you still trying to sell me on the idea of clowns versus zombies? Because I'm done, I'm sold. I think what's unique about it is that it's not really clowns versus zombies at the end of the day. It's clowns versus zombies versus guests. Mm-hmm. You're stuck in the middle of this adventure, and you are caught between these two warring factions of absolutely brutal horror tropes, and that makes it so much fun, because you already have preconceived notions of what those things mean for you, but to be able to get into a situation in which you have to be the hero of the story, and you have to get out with the tech package has to make it to the end of Station 5 in order for you to succeed and escape. Those are the things that really solidified my choice.
Now, we, on our drive, towards the end, it was one of the final scenes, someone did take our package. Does that count as making it towards the end, or did it have to get to the gun return?
That made it. You made it. Good job.
Now, what happens if it doesn't make it to the end?
You will make it to the end. That's the suspension of disbelief. But what I love about Scream and Stream is that by adding the vehicle into it, you automatically increase the stakes of the situation. It's not just you, it's also your vehicle. Like, what would happen if your car broke down in the middle of a zombie-infested or clown-infested military post? You would not make it out. And so it's a matter of allowing that to be a part of the story and increasing the danger involved.
I will say, as the driver, that really, in my opinion, it really increased interactivity, at least for me, to have that thing that you pass on, because everybody else gets to shoot, so you're the one who's driving. But being able to pass that on, it still made me feel like it was part of the experience.
Like, I did something.
Yeah, I did something.
Well, and not only that, but I think it increases the stakes on a guest level for the driver, because as a driver, I would constantly be like, shoot them all.
Or like,
let me get eaten.
Or like, am I supposed?
The driver that gets eaten.
It's like, or am I supposed to be handing them this? Like,
right? Like, should I trust them? Because we put a lot of seeds of mistrust in the entire thing.
I was terrified. I didn't see it.
The suspense is really, you can really feel it.
Yeah.
Very good story.
So the guns itself, did we have to like code them, or like how long did that take?
I don't know. I know that Josh worked really. We have a person on our team named Josh, and he's fantastic at doing whatever he did to get those guns online. I do know that he had all of them in his apartment at one particular point going off, and I'm sure his neighbors didn't enjoy that.
Because the guns were like, they felt good in the hand, easy to shoot, and I mean, most of the time they did hit their targets, and they seemed to work.
Yeah, I like that. I did. I appreciated the feel of them. On our very first drive, Chris handed me one. He said, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Well, it needs to be a little heavier because there needs to be some substance to it.
Yeah.
It can't just be a plastic toy ray gun to shoot. You want to feel something behind it."
Yeah. And then I want to know what your favorite scene is in Scream and Stream. Because there's like 21 scenes you mentioned earlier.
There are 21 scenes. I think it's a little early to know what my favorite one is. I've got some favorites already, but until we're done with the end of our run, I think I'll know.
Do you have any favorite ones you've designed?
I do have a couple that I absolutely adore. I love the mime right after in the laugh lab. I absolutely adore her being silent and showing you all the different ways she's going to kill you. I love pins and needles. I'm very partial to pins. I'm partial to pins and needles. they're just really sick and demented. And what I love most about them is that they don't have a suppression vest on, so you can't shoot them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no, I could actually be killed by them right now. Oh, green light, I get to go. Yeah.
And then also, when guests come to the event, do they park at the District Eat and Play, or do they park like somewhere around here? Or?
What's wonderful about Scream and Stream being here is that they have the opportunity to be able to go to District, they can go to the Oviedo Brewing Company, they can experience the mall, they can make a real evening of it. They don't have to just go.
They can watch a movie. They can
exactly.
Yeah.
They can go explore and have fun and make an entire day of it if they want to, and then go explore Scream and Stream at a particular time because now they've got a virtual queue. That means that there are designated parking spaces for them. They don't have to park just in one place. And if there is inclement weather, they can always go inside the mall and hang out and do those things, and then always make their way back.
So the virtual queue, where do you like sign up for?
That's
like,
where you get your tickets. You can sign up. Okay. You out of here, bud? Yeah, I gotta go. All right. Sorry. Hey, I'll talk soon.
So when you get your ticket online,
yep, you sign up for a virtual time, and then you automatically know your time slot.
Now, when you purchase a ticket, is it specific to that day?
Well, you reserve a time for a particular day.
Okay.
So you know exactly when.
And you can't change it, correct?
I think you probably can, but I'm not the I don't know. I'm not the ticket person.
Right.
Yeah. I would hope that exchange would be okay, provided that there is space on the date that you need to switch it to, and you leave enough time to let them know.
I actually have a question. So if you're like if let's just say you're in town for a night and you come across Scream and Stream, but you just have like one person, it's just yourself. Are you able to still experience the event?
I do not think that would be a problem. You won't be able to shoot, but you would be able to drive through. I keep joking around that I'm going to get a Lyft driver one of these nights, and I'm going to have a Lyft driver go through, and I'm going to bamboozle and be like, no, man, just turn left. It's okay, I know them. They'll let us in. I got to get home, but this is the fastest way through the parking lot. Just, let's go in. And they just completely just screw them. Yeah.
So that's a yes.
But yes, as a single, you can totally go through by yourself.
And do you think there'll be any like multi-night tickets in like years going forward?
Oh, would that be great? I mean,
I would love that.
The sky's the limit. I mean, I don't know what it is. I do know that, we joke around that the price is per car, not per person. But that does make a really affordable evening. So you could come several times during the run if you know for a fact that you're only going to be paying X.
Yeah, last year I came, I think like 3 or 4 times.
Nice.
And I loved it. So, I mean, I prefer that other than like Haunted Road and everything like that. Like, there's a couple other haunts that just came last year, and like out of all those, Scream and Stream was my favorite.
That's awesome. I mean, there's definitely room within the industry for different versions of haunts and different entities. So I'm excited about where we're at. We're in an exciting time.
You guys are still young and
yeah, very young.
Now, do you have any ideas for like the future? Like, have you started planning next year's Scream and
Chris
Stream?
and I haven't had a sit. I know he has ideas, and I know I have ideas. We haven't sit down yet. Right now, the focus is just getting this year open, and then we'll see where we go. He's worried about. He's having a baby in like a month. Like he's on a completely different plane right now. I know what it's like. Like he's not here as far as that's concerned. But I do have ideas for what 22 could hold for Scream and Stream, and I think there's a lot of exciting areas we can take in.
I will say, keeping that laser tag-esque idea, like I've never seen anything like that before, and it was so special to go through it. It was so unique and fun. I'm definitely personally gonna come back.
Like you look at like laser tagging in general, and you're like, oh, okay, it's just that. But then you have the aspect of having a car in it, and like you play along with actual people.
And the story elements.
Yeah, the storyline behind it was amazing. The acting was amazing. I'm definitely coming back more than once.
Right on. Good. It's good to hear. I love it.
And do you have any other horror-related projects that you're working on after this?
So there is this, there is Hallow Scream, and then Oh the Horror. So our card game drops. It's on the ocean right now. We're waiting for it to dock just so we can send sets out to people. But it should be here by the end of the month and definitely in people's hands by Halloween. So if you go to ohthehorrorgame.com, you can check it out and pre-order the game. It's 400 cards. It's a really gross, disgusting adult horror party game, and we're really excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
I actually have one more question. What's your favorite horror movie? I've been wanting to ask.
Okay, so when we get asked this question, I have to ask you a question back. What subgenre of horror do you want me to say?
Exactly. Psychological, zombie movie.
I've probably seen more horror movies than most people. I've probably forgotten about most horror movies that people have seen.
I'll say like classic.
Classic horror?
That's
Like
still
1930s, 1940s?
Going up to maybe the 80s, like in that.
That's a big swing.
That's not really a subgenre.
Okay, maybe like
classic horror.
60s to 80s.
There you go.
If that's
Like,
because that was like peak, I'd say.
like
more.
peak slashers.
Yeah.
There are a few. I really love The Thing. I'm a huge fan of Halloween. I love things like Sleepaway Camp.
Oh my gosh.
With their crazy ending.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Jacob's Ladder. It's 90s, but close. And then in the 60s, it's stuff like Prince of Darkness and Dracula's Daughter and films like that. It's not one of my favorites, but it's noteworthy, like Blood-Sucking Freaks. And stuff that's way out there is also really, really fun. Yeah.
I've never even heard of half of those. I haven't even heard of half of those.
You should, man. Replay them, just go check them out. They're awesome. Yeah, Blood-Sucking Freaks is, it's an acquired taste. It's a little, yeah. Cannibal Holocaust?
Oh my god.
Cannibal Holocaust?
That isn't.
Yeah, Texas is really good.
Yeah.
There's so many. Not the house? No?
I still, as you can see, that's the haunt right over there. There's still more cars going through it right now. So we just interviewed Patrick Burler, and he is the creative director for Scream and Stream, and for reference, he was the past creative director, one of them, for Halloween Horror Nights. So that just shows how much creativity he does have that he put towards this event. And he also is doing Howl Scream this year and Oh the Horror Game, which is a card game coming out. So he was the creative head and is the creative head for this now. And the event was really fun, and it's nice and local too. So like if you're coming to the theme parks, you can take the toll road, which is the 417, and it could lead you right out by the Oviedo Mall. And it's in a nice, convenient location. You can hit up a movie. You can go into the arcade area at the Eat and Play, and you can do all this other stuff before the Scream and Stream event. And also the Scream and Stream event is priced per car, not per person, so you want to fill up as many people in your car as you can. So if you can fit 20 people in your car, fit 20 people in the car. If it costs like $50 or whatever, I don't know the actual price yet, but if it costs like $50 and it splits really nice, I mean, you just want to fit as many people in the car to have a really good experience. So I feel like this event is fun for everyone that comes because everyone can shoot except the driver, but the driver also has to give the control package thing, and you have to make sure that gets to the end. And also at the same time, I feel like there are enough scares on the driver's side as well, so the driver is included when thinking about this haunt. They weren't left out. So even though you can't shoot the clowns and the zombies, you still do get to participate in the drive, and you could keep everyone safe during the experience. But I definitely recommend checking this place out. It's really fun. I had a great time. Really neat. And thank you, Scream and Stream, for having us out tonight. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see what next year has in store for us. So that'll be it for us today. Stay tuned for our next video. We'll be going to more haunts this season. And follow me on social media on Twitter at Ethan Hershaft and on Instagram at Florida Theme Park Pics. Stay tuned for the next one.